letting some breaths flow through your body. Make them slightly deeper than the normal breath, meaning our lungs are trying to expand wider. We're trying to breathe not just into whatever our normal section of lungs is. Some people are chest breathers, some people are belly breathers. And really, it's optimal if we can get all of them. So the belly goes out, the side ribs go out, and the chest rises. So see if you can take a huge breath, filling all parts of the lungs. And just fill your body in that comfortable release as you start to exhale. As we're sitting here just enjoying these deep breaths, I'll start to connect us with our intention for the practice today. And the intention is all about helping to cool down some of the summer heat. When our body starts to take on heat of being outdoors, especially in a hot climate like ours, when our body gets hot, the other parts of us tend to also get heated and fiery. So our emotions may start to become more anxious or more angry or more tense, just because, not because of anything else except for we're just hot and there's too much fire energy going around. And so our class today, while we're still in the middle of nice heat of the summer, we're going to use a couple of different techniques to help our body cool down, to help us get into a state of calm, cool presence. And so it's that reminder that no matter how heated the world becomes, we can still be cool and calm. No matter how hot it is outside, we have techniques we can use to help our physical body cool. And every other part of us is affected by that. So the first thing we're going to do is something that we'll include a couple of times throughout class, and that is to actually take a breath that does cool our body down, because it turns our mouth into a swamp cooler. So our lungs become much more humidified, and then with our exhale, we're able to release some of the heat. And so this breath can be done one of two ways, depending on if you're able to do a taco tongue, rolling your tongue, or not. So if you can do a taco tongue, what you'll do is create that taco tongue shape, and then you'll inhale through that straw of your tongue. So it sounds like your exhale would just be out the nose. So that's the first way to do it, if you can do that taco tongue. Some people can't do that genetically. And so if you can't, what you'll do instead is spread your lips super wide and then breathe through your teeth while your teeth are kind of clenched. So that one sounds like shh, and then exhale out the nose. So together here, let's take at least 6 or 7 or 8 of those cooling breaths, either through the taco tongue or through the teeth. When you're ready, just let it begin naturally. Imagine a blue energy, that cooling light coming into the lungs as you breathe in this way. And maybe 2 more cycles. And then take a few natural breaths, or maybe even the ujjayi breath, that light constriction of the throat. Just calm, relaxed breaths to feel how our body shifted and changed because of that cooling breath. Feel how everything's a bit calmer, a bit more present. And so it's with that quality, but we're going to start taking our yoga poses here. So let's start like normal. The knees start to come into the chest. Maybe we're rocking around just a little bit, helping the low back, checking in with it. And we'll take just a simple twist to each side. So let both knees go to the left. The arms start to spread open. Whether you're in your natural breath or that light constriction of the throat, keep that slow, calm, present, flowing with the breath. After the next exhale, knees start to lift. Take the twist over to the second side. And then as knees start to come back up the next time, let yourself either allow left foot to plant or left foot extends long to the ground. Either preference. We've got the right knee into the chest, clasp the hands around the knee, and take a moment just pulling that knee to a nice depth inward. Starting to feel the connection across those muscles on the front of the hip. Keep just the right hand on the right knee, and it'll start to allow the knee to open wide to the right. It's almost like the idea of tree pose, only the foot doesn't have to connect to the thigh. We're just allowing that hip to naturally open wide. And then from here, start to slide your right hand to the right outside edge of the foot for a half happy baby. This is something we're going to play with even from a standing position later in class. So imagine that your left leg, you're standing on it. We've kind of flipped our orientation. The ground is under that left foot. And so imagine your posture being straight and tall as it's resting on the ground. And then start to allow this right knee to open into the full happy baby. So the knee's kind of close to the ground. The foot's trying to stack above the knee. So from this alignment, 3 times we're going to kick this right foot forward as in up to the sky in this bird arrangement. So it may not go all the way straight. That's okay. You're just going to play with however straight you can kick it. So nice and slow. Right leg starts to come up. 3. And then start to bend. 2. Up to the sky. And bend. And 1. And by the way, if ever it's better for your body to grip a little bit lower, more into the shin, that's okay. From here, kicking the leg a little bit wider to the right side, we're going to take 3 to that angle. So going wide, here's 3, and bend. 2, and bend. 1, and bend. Now as you release the hand from the foot, let the leg go straight up to the sky on its own, hands clasped behind the thigh, and we're just going to help the leg stretch. Some people may walk a little bit higher up the leg. That's okay, personal preference. And sometimes the ankle wants to loosen up as well. So ankle rolls are welcome if that's what feels like the best thing here. Good. From here, as we start to drop this leg all the way down, let it release. Feel the hip relax and feel that right side so long. It feels like it's maybe 3 inches longer than the left side right now. Just enjoy another breath to be right here, calm and present, not needing to rush too much. And as we complete that exhale, start to take the left knee in. We're clasping around the knee first, giving it a nice tug into it. The left hand on the left knee goes wide, almost like that tree pose without the foot connected to thigh. Set up for the happy baby. Remember, if foot's too much, you can just grab the shin instead. If it's comfortable keeping the right leg long, imagine you're standing on it. So try to shoot some energy down that leg and the foot's flexed. So a couple of breaths just to feel the hips start to open up from the shape. Okay, 3 slow kicks forward, as in up to the sky. 3, and then 2, and 1. Back to the bent place, the 3 wide kicks out to the left side, going for 3. And then 2 and 1. So that releases. Keep this left leg up to the sky in front of you. We're grabbing onto the thigh, calf, or the foot. Just enjoy the pause through the stretch. Relaxed breath. The exhale releases. Hands release. The leg drops slowly to the ground. And then feel now both legs are extremely long. Just enjoy another wonderful breath in and out. The next inhale brings the arms up overhead. We're going to try to do a roll up to stretch over our legs. So exhale, try to lift up the shoulders, and then come all the way up. You can grab legs if you need to. Stretch over the legs. We're not in any need to force things too much. We're still warming up our body at this point in class. And so just let your spine do what it likes to do. A little bit of bend is fine. And then as spine rises up, slide the feet together into cobbler's pose. It may be nice to just keep the hands behind us, allowing the hips to open like a book. Just on its own, that could be nice. If you prefer to go forward, you can also take that variation, starting off tall to then find that release. As spine starts to work back up to straight, we're going to take a nice twist over toward the left side. And so set your spine up tall, one hand behind, the other hand wherever the comfortable grip is. Maybe shin, foot, thigh. Let the neck be a part of this. Maybe even the eyeballs include this. Gentle stretch all the way over. Back to the center, switching sides. Posture tall, and then rotate over. Back up to tall, either grabbing onto feet or hands behind. Let's take 5 rounds of that cooling breath. So taco tongue or teeth. Whenever you finish the 5th one, you're going to purposely slide the feet a bit wider, even inching the feet slightly apart, maybe 6 inches or so. And then make sure all the muscles are loose in the hamstring. We're not going to have any clenched muscles. And then gently allow ourselves to start traveling forward. The breath is back to that calm, maybe light constriction of the throat pace. So our hips are feeling pretty open from here. Let's start to walk the hands in. We'll come to a nice kneeling place. As we take cat-cows today, let's include the right leg. So the knee can absolutely be bent the whole time. The first part we do is exhale, the knee comes to the nose. And then inhale, the foot comes up, try to arch as if one day we could touch the toes to the head. Continue that breath like that. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. And 1. And then drop the right knee down. Same thing left. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift, and really arch. Here's 3. And 2. And Next one comes down. From here, the left leg is going to open into a half moon pose. So face toward the center of our square that we have set up. And then your right leg opens out to the right side. From here, we're going to slide the right hand down the right leg. And then left arm is going to circle all the way up and over. Nice long leaning toward that side. Continue to feel the inner part of the hip open. Good. Rising up, we're going to drop down to our elbows. And maybe this foot that's long continues to tilt its way wider, allowing both inner thighs to be brought into a nice stretch. If you're already in a good inner thigh stretch, no need to force anything deeper. You're doing good. Okay, back up onto hands. If you swapped out, slide that foot back in. Before we switch sides, we're taking a kneeling half moon. So plant your left hand, the right leg lifts, and maybe the other hand stays at the hip or up to the sky. Good. Beautiful. One more inhale. And then exhale, that leg comes down, switch it out. Everything's all the way to the other side. So first things first, slide down the straight leg. And the free arm reaches up to the sky and then over. Okay, rising up. Start to lower down, maybe just hands, maybe down to elbows. And maybe you're heel toeing the foot through. Okay, back up onto hands. Slide back through the center. And then kneeling half moon to the other side. So plant the hand. Maybe the leg can start to rise. The other hand can stay at the hip or continue to float. One more good inhale. And exhale, drop hands, drop knees. We're facing forward. Take 3 just normal rounds of cat-cow. So I'm looking up, belly arching down. After that third one, start to tuck your toes, lift their hips, play with the downward facing dog. Feel what's still tight in the body. Wiggles are fine to help loosen that up. Or stillness can be beautiful as well. Maybe one more good inhale. And exhale, you can start making our way up to the top of the mat, tabling forward. Nice release to the low back. Release through into the stretch. Just enjoy 3 slow, deep breaths. So from here, taking a moment with Malasana pose, the feet go a little bit wider, about as wide as the mat, usually is what works for me. If your knees do not like Malasana pose, you'll go even wider and just press your elbows into your knees from this higher position. If you can go to the full Malasana, you're squatting down all the way in between. helping to push the hips open from here. Try to feel the low back straightening, feeling extension through the whole spine. We've got 3 more breaths. Drop the hands, straighten the legs, turning the toes forward. 3 more breaths to release. The feet are slightly wider. The 4th inhale brings us up to stand. Hands end up at the heart. And as we start to heel to the feet closer, we're going to bring ourselves into a couple of balancing poses. This is a section where if balance feels like it might be off at all on either leg, you're welcome to get a little bit closer to the wall, kind of standing somewhat close to it so it's there if you need to grab it. What we're going to do to start off is shift our weight into the left foot, and our right ankle is going to come up onto the left thigh. As we continue to rotate that knee open, bend the standing knee, hands even rest on ankle and knee, and start to sit down as if we're going into a chair. Depending on how your balance is and your strength right now, you may be able to sit pretty low, maybe even dropping down to elbows, or even hands to the floor. So it's whatever allows not only the hip to open, but also allows you to balance. From here, we're going to rise gently back up towards standing. Take the right foot onto the thigh, try to set up for tree pose right now. That's okay. You got this. Okay, step the right foot down. If left needs to shake for a moment, that's okay. Do the same things nice and slow. So when you're ready, ankle up to thigh. Feel that calm steadiness as you start to sit down into the chair. Maybe hands go down to drop, help the hip rotate open. You need to return to the lower, maybe elbows, or even hands to reverse your way back up. Sliding the foot to the thigh. If you can reach there. Tree. Oh, you saved it. Good work. Beautiful. Dropping that foot down. We can shake the right foot out for a moment. Let's just take a flow to help us reset everything. So up at the top, circle this hands up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Hatha. Exhale, hands plant down, step off your jump. Lower chaturanga. Only as much arch to your spine as feels good for back and here. And child pose or down dog, personal preference. Let's enjoy 3 breaths wherever we're lifting up to. Gazing forward, bend the knees like a spring, and step forward, jump all the way. Look at the forward fold, a nice inhale. Beautiful exhale. And inhale, rise. And with the heart. Let's add on a few more balancing In the wall again, that's beautiful. Taking the right ankle up. We won't be there quite as long this time, but right ankle up. Start to sit back. Find whatever balance and hip opener is available to us right here. Rise up, set it into tree. And then trying to stay in balance, see if your right hand can grab the outside edge of the foot like a happy baby. So you will have to round down a little bit to grab it. And then if the balance is still okay, try to rise back upright. If that's about what you can do, you can set it back there, practice tree a little bit longer. If you're doing okay right here, maybe try to extend it forward and pause. Bend and wide and pause. That's okay. And bring it back in. Set the foot down. If you need to shake standing leg, go for it. Oh, good. We got one more side. Okay. So weight on right side. Left ankle up. Start to sit back. Choosing your ending spot. Just one more inhale. Exhale, start to rise. Taking the foot to tree pose. Again, staying here is fine. Maybe left hand starts to reach down, grabbing out the edge of the foot. Our spine gets back upright, nice and tall. If you're here, maybe try to come forward. Plugging the shoulder in. And bend. And wide. Catch and bend. Beautiful. Drop this foot down. If hands or feet need that shake, take it. Good. And then we'll be back up on the mat. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Just pause for a moment. Feel the body cooling down from any heat that those shakes brought into the body. Sometimes when we get to the struggle point, it starts to build up that heat, that tension, that anxiety. So here we're letting it cool, keeping the breath smooth. Sliding the hands up the shins, half lift, as flat spine. And slide back down, just the left foot lunges back. Planting the hands, we're going to swing this front right foot up into three-legged dog. And then open the hip up so the front of the hip is stretching as the toes are going a little bit behind us. One more inhale. And then exhale, this right foot steps to the outside of right hand. We're setting up for lizard pose so the back knee can drop down. Maybe we stand on hands if this is where the best hip opener is going. Maybe we're dropping one elbow down, maybe both elbows. Another beautiful inhale. And exhale, we start to walk up onto hands. The front foot is going to heel toe a little bit closer to the center of the mat. And then we're going to shift the hips back to be in a nice half splits. Just leaning forward. You can always have the option to continue walking hands forward to help pull the spine longer and longer. Make sure your balance is still good though, so no pressure. Okay, front foot plants. We're shifting our weight back forward. Tuck the back toes, lifting that knee. Just a moment, balancing on the back toes as we walk our hands up to the thighs. And then circle up. Hands to the heart. Put the left elbow for a little twist. If the elbow's too far, open the wrists and just put the wrist instead. Release, arms back up to the sky. Let the back heel rotate to the ground. Arms open up, warrior two. And then going into extended side angle, the front elbow rests on the front thigh, the other arm stretches long. You can stay here or drop the right hand to the ground, fingertips touching. Continue to stretch the other arm long. Maybe continue to sink the right shoulder closer to the knee. That right elbow bends a little bit. And perhaps we're setting up a bind here. The right hand goes from under the thigh, trying to wrap around it. The other hand comes around the back, trying to clasp. Just like that, girl, you got it.
Can't find my hand. Well, it's there somewhere.
It's there somewhere. As long as your balance is still good, you're good. If you need to drop it down for better balance, that's okay. We'll just pause here, 2 more breaths. And then from here, start to release the hands, both of them to the inside of the foot. Start to walk the hands to the long front left corner of the mat, even off that edge. It's really, really, really long. Front knee is still bent, so that leg's burning a little bit. Lots of strength going on. Just 2 more breaths. So from here, walk yourself back up the thigh, back up to stand. Shorten the stance so hips can be forward. Front leg straight. And then holding onto wrists or to elbows or even prayer position flipped upward. We start to travel forward through the end of this. One more inhale. Exhale, hands drop down. The back foot simply slides next to the front foot. Enjoy both legs stretching together. Feel how again our body got to touch some heat, some things that are a little bit more challenging, a little bit of work. Did we maintain a slow, steady breath throughout? Good thing to notice. One more inhale. A nice exhale. The next inhale, we slide the hands up the shins, half nose with the spine. Exhale, hands plant down. Right foot lunges back. And then this left foot is going to lift through, under and through to the 3-legged dog. Open the hip from behind. Another inhale. And exhale, the foot goes to the outside of left hand. The back knee can drop down. You can stay here or lower one or both elbows down, lizard. Hop onto hands, the foot works its way to the center of the mat. And then you take the legs straight, half splits. Another good inhale. And then exhale, the front knee bends. The back toes tuck, lifting that knee. Walk up to the thigh. Arms sweep up. Hands to the heart. Maybe opening the arms to connect the wrist or hooking the elbow. Good. Shortening the stance is always a good option to make it slightly easier. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind. Reaching up, the back of the rotates down. Arms open. Warrior two for just a moment. Left elbow to left thigh. The other arm stretches long. Maybe left fingers start to work down to the ground. Maybe the shoulder gets closer to the knee. And maybe left hand goes from underneath as right hand goes behind the back. Two more breaths. And then as we release, walk the fingertips toward that right top corner of the mat, walking off that edge, nice and long. And then walking the hands backwards, and then gently to stand, try for the top of the mat, shortening the stance enough. The hips are forward, and then perhaps same grip. Perhaps you just want to drop the hands down this time. Personal preference. Lift the spine tall and begin to release forward. I find it helpful either to gaze at the front big toe or find a spot on your mat kind of in between the legs to gaze at. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the hands down. Slide the back foot forward. We're here for a few rounds of breath, both legs integrating into one another. And from here, sliding the hands up the shins, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, go through a flow. Sending yourself back, lower chaturanga, back bend of your choice. Eventually downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up to the sky. Let's send it under and through for pigeon. Lowering down perhaps to elbows. And this going on in the hips, this deep release could be deep and intense. I'll give you an option if you want to join me. You do not feel like you have to. So this option would be starting to drop the left shoulder down to the ground. And then rotating the right hand behind your back, maybe to grab those toes that are closer. A little bit too much. You could always just be on the elbow and let your spine rotate as well. That would be another way. Do you feel like you're okay from the roll?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
I think
good.
a little lower ahead.
Wherever we're at, try to slow down your breath. We've got 3 more cycles. Let's take our time coming back out, planting the hands, tucking back toes, lift up through 3-legged dog. And then when you're ready to set right foot down, prepare the left leg, a brief lift, send it under and through. Maybe down to elbows. Feel the hips start to release into this shape. Maybe the right shoulder travels down, or you can stay on that right elbow. Left hand comes around the back to grab the toes that are released. Beautiful inhale. Relax, exhale to start unwinding. One last down dog as we're heading out. Maybe lift through to 3-legged dog. And when that side feels complete and balanced, lower yourself back down to sit. You want to find a seat with the legs in front of you that allows posture to be tall. So perhaps that is bent knees. Perhaps that's hugging around. From this place, let's take 3 cooling breaths. And then maintaining this length, this connection of torso to thighs, start to walk one foot forward, maybe the other. And you find the ending spot where it feels like the connection is completely being lost. So it might be almost toward the beginning, it might be almost flat, no competition. Feel the breath slow and steady. And then releasing the hands, press into the ground for the spine to roll up. Right foot slides into plant. We take a twist, hooking left hand or left elbow. And returning forward, we're going to try to slide the foot in even closer, even to the point where the right hip lifts up a little bit. We reach the right shoulder around, trying to wrap the hand around the shin. This may be where you pause, just working right here. You may be able to get left hand around for a bind. One more inhale wherever we are. Exhale, release and rise. Drop the thigh down. And then reaching up to the sky, stretch over that straight left leg. Inhale. Exhale to turn up. Switch the leg out, left foot's planted. First it's just the twist. Right hand hooks around left knee or right elbow. Posture trying to straighten as we twist. Good. Returning forward. We're going to split the foot in super, super close. The hip maybe lifted a little bit. Reach this left arm forward, trying to get the shoulder close to the knee. And then the hand can wind around. Maybe the other hand comes around the back. Or maybe we're just working on forward fold. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Left thigh falls open. Hands up to the sky. And relax. One more beautiful inhale. Exhale. Start to walk your way back up. As we start to head down onto our backs, we scan through our body, asking what last gifts we can give this beautiful body of ours. Maybe it's a little twist, both knees going left and right. Maybe it's a happy baby. Maybe there's another pose that you're craving. Just play with whatever it is that's helping your body feel good and complete. And mentally, think back on the class as well. What moments were challenging, and did I take the challenge with summer fire, or a little bit more of that fall and winter coolness, that calmness, that presence, that even if it's not perfect, even if I'm nowhere close to it, I'm doing really good. I'm doing poses that are hard. And just continue to take all the time you need with these last shapes through your body until eventually your body is so ready for Shavasana. No rush to get there. And you have an invitation, if you wish, to take just a couple of rounds of cooling breath, inviting in that blue, fresh, cool oxygen into the lungs so that the body can continue to relax and rest, almost like a hibernation for the next few minutes. Begin to deepen your inhales and exhales. Little movements returning to the body. Stretching out in a really good deep way. Taking that fetal position when your body feels ready for it. And slowly pressing our way up toward a seated place. With hands at our heart, we acknowledge that the energy of fire and summer is much more appreciated in our society than other qualities. Our society likes to be quick and to be heated and to be argumentative. With this slow progression through class, we realized that we got there without the rush. It's more like Spain, taking a siesta, moving slowly, but yet everything is still accomplished. Everything is peaceful the whole journey. So with that slower quality of cooling down into fall and winter, with that quality to lead us into any heat that we might encounter today, let's wrap up this wonderful time we got to share with the sound of Om. Taking a deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.